Well, guys, we're back. Ross has joined us for this week's weekly prediction. Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, Ross, how are you?
Good, good. Not too bad now. Yeah. I'm out here in Thailand, so great to be able to find the time to catch up with you. And I had a few questions for you, Luke, actually, while I have you there now.
Cool.
So obviously I've been kind of in the loop a little bit on the whole thing. So I just wanted to ask you the big the weekend kickoff for the season opener in Viva. How did that go? Actually, no, sorry, scrap that. The Mola game in Europe. How did you get on in that? No, scrap that. Your first home game of the season, Cork City at home. How did that go? I'd
No,
say that sounds a great atmosphere. Well, no,
the
it's
Cork
scrap
game.
that, scrap that. Transfer news. Who you must have signed a striker? What striker did you sign? What centre half did you get
That's
in
it.
actually?
We're going back to the remote call. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. No, listen, I was delighted with the Cork game getting called off. I actually couldn't. 2 hours before, I realized I couldn't go to the game, so I was salty over that. And then when I was getting texts coming in saying the game got cancelled, I was like, "This is brilliant." I was like, "I can't go." The depleted squad. I was like, "Fantastic." And we won't
Yeah,
talk
no,
about you.
I think it was the best case scenario to be honest for you is actually to get that bit of a break. Like,
Yeah, and yeah, it's just with the pitch and all. Like, obviously the Rovers game on the Thursday, and then the women's game on the Friday. And yeah, you would have thought the pitch would have held up, but yeah, the best pitch in the country still gets waterlogged. Sure, look, kind of like the
you're
Talk the
giving, you're
Park
giving,
Lights, what?
giving all, you were giving all this, weren't you? About that, you giving all that about that. But Jesus, like,
The Talk
Tala
the Park
worst,
Lights.
worst, Tala
Listen,
worst
I
ground in the
haven't forgot
country.
about that. The ESB. Did someone did Duffer didn't
But
pay
that
his
that
bill? Bill.
electricity, but like the electricity going out is something can't be helped. But the grass, the pitch. Come on, basic making Cork travel down an hour and half an hour before kickoff, making the call. Jesus, the poor
Brilliant.
lads in Cork.
Good.
Jesus, shocking to carry on. Like terrible
Shocking
carry
carry
on.
on. No wonder you wouldn't jump on a call last week after the Shells fiasco. Right, we'll start there. So yeah, first game is Cork City versus Bows. So obviously Cork travelled up to Dublin last weekend and yeah, called off a half an hour before kickoff as you touched off, and then Bows going up to Derry and coming out on a narrow 1-0 defeat, Michael Duffy free kick. So I suppose what did you make of those two so far this season?
Yeah, I've kind of just been catching mainly highlights being put up in bits and pieces and kind of catching up on podcasts a bit today. Um, So in terms of Cork, obviously it's kind of hard to read into it too much. Obviously, I say the Galway results kind of aged well after Galway went to beat Pats, so it's not the worst start to the season. Scoring two against Galway is not to be sniffed at. I think Cork will score goals this season. We kind of touch on that. It's just defensively that's where their issues could lie a little bit this season. Uh, Whereas both their Bohemians, isn't it? Cork Bows, is that what it
Yeah.
is? Cork
Yeah.
Bows, yeah, Bows. Oh, I think they need to drop Hussein, to be honest. He doesn't look fit in the slightest from what I've seen. Uh, I think that the quicker they get Colin Whelan starting the front, I think it's bound to happen sooner rather than later. Me saying this looks miles off. It's one of those where do you keep playing him to get him fit, but it could take 6 months, do you know what I mean, to keep just sticking it out with him. Is it worth it in the end? Or do you make the change now? Like,
This is one of those things because if you drop Moose, he might start going missing like he has his other
yeah.
clubs. Like he might just, the Lamborghini might be crashed into the side of Dalymount Park and he's down in McGowan's.
might cheer the place up a bit, to be fair. If you car crash into it, might cheer the place up.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah. Who are
but
you
yeah,
leaning for this game?
he screams to me like he'll be gone by June. Like, he's just, that's just, I think that's the way I think it's going to pan out. But I could be proved wrong. But that's the way I just can't see it working out. To be honest, this one actually, those are really hard to call. Aren't they? Like obviously they were good against Hughes. They looked like a different out, and then Derry they're really poor. I don't think they barely had a shot goal. I don't think so. Hard to know what you're going to get. It's going to be I think Turner's Cross be a tough trip for them. Could be goals in this one, to be honest. Might go for another score draw, maybe a 1-1. But that could really go either way because I could see Cork definitely scoring one or two like with the attackers they have. Like,
Yeah, yeah, no, I could see that too. I don't know. I just like from watching them with Connor Parsons and Dale Rooney. I just think that Derry game might have been a bit of a blip. You know, that pitch up in
maybe
Derry,
yeah.
tough to play on. As you say, like maybe Collie Whelan might come into the side, and he has a good record against Cork as well.
Did
So
they drop Bill Rooney for that game? I think didn't they?
yeah,
Against Derry, which is a kind of a weird call. They started
yeah,
man Reese Brennan or
right.
something in front of him, which was a bit of a mad one.
Sure, another week in the life of Alan Reynolds.
Yeah,
But, but yeah,
that's
no,
the
I'm
thing
probably
because
gonna
like sorry, far away.
you work away. What were you saying?
I was just saying that like there must be a little bit of pressure on him, like because that Bulls team, you kind of look through it, and it is a lot of money spent there. So I'm talking about Derry and the money they've spent and stuff, but it's not like the Devoy and Tierney are being paid in food stamps. Like, you know, they're getting a few pounds. Like, so he's had a bit of back in there, and I think he needs to kind of like he's talking about playing 19-year-olds left back and stuff. But like you signed him, you went and signed that left back. That's someone you signed. You can't go start playing like if it was an academy underage fella playing left full for them. Fair enough, but this is a signing. Like, so they can't. I think it's a bit embarrassing coming out with those comments about Derry when they've had a good bit of backing and he's giving out about his signings. So yeah, I think it could be a case of Declan Devine 2.0 this season potentially.
Yeah, in my opinion, anything less than a top half is a sackable offence. Like they were saying that Bow's budget was reduced from last season, but I don't believe that, to be honest. The squad's improved drastically. So yeah, looking on paper, I'm going to go back for Bow's, to get back to winning ways here. As I kind of touched off, like Cork, the defence is leaky enough, isn't it?
Mm,
Like yeah, even a half fit Moose say you'd fancy him to do something. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Bow's win. Narrow enough, but I think Bow's will get through.
nice.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so yeah, the next game we have Derry City at home again to Waterford. So yeah, Ross, what have you made of Derry so far? The Craggy Island over 75s.
Yeah, exactly. Tough to know. They were poor at Talca, to be honest. But like, yeah, you probably give them the benefit of the doubt on that. A lot of new signings in the drawer. Give them a bit of time to gel. They were a bit better against Bowes, I suppose. And they brought in your man Holt from Dundee, which I think will prove to be a good sign. I know he's a bit old on the older side, but it's very short term fix and solution. But I think he will be pretty good this season. Like I think he's been starting weekend. I think was he their captain, Dundee's captain, and they're like third or fourth in the SPL. Like, so he's no like no he'd be good. He will be a good signing. Like, so I think Winchester was improved against Bowes as well. Yeah, Derry's it's a funny one, isn't it? I think they'll just be tipping along. Like, they'll take a little while to get going fully, but I think that it's just how like, I think Roy Higgins is on the NOS Central pod talking about like the recruitment strategy at Derry is always like bringing the best players available to try and win the league rather than bringing the right players for like a style of play type thing. It's just like get who we can. Like, you have Boyce there, you have Hoban there, who are very similar, like very similar profile wise, and they're playing 4-4-2 with them up top in talk and it just didn't work. So it's like either being in just the best players they can find that are available, or they're building towards identity. And I don't think they're building towards any identity at the moment.
Yeah. I look at our team on paper, and even though they have a lot of good players, like, it doesn't really fit into an 11. And there's no real. It's kind of like you've had to throw in a load of. It's like an ultimate team. They're throwing a load of kind of good players together,
Yeah,
and no real kind of structure or plan. Like, yeah, they'll probably win more games than they'll lose this season, but I just can't see Derry climbing up many trees trophy wise. But then again, yeah, I was trying to think back. Waterford's last game, 1-0 loss to Shells. Did you get a touch of
yeah,
the highlights there? What did you make of them?
yeah. They huffed and puffed a little bit. I think Sheffield probably deserved the win. It was kind of a scrappy enough game. They had a couple of chances. I think they had a red card, which probably ended their chances of coming back into that one. But then a couple of chances. They have a couple of dangerous players. Waterford, they will be a solid side, and expect them to be kind of comfortable enough again this season. And they have a couple of nice players. Like, I do like a couple of their signings and things like that. And they have a goal in their side. What was their first game of the season? They drew, I think, didn't they? Was it a
Yeah,
draw?
no,
Oh
they
no, they
no,
won the
they
Sligo,
beat
didn't they?
Sligo. Yeah.
Won in Sligo, yeah. So Waterford at home in this, are they?
No, it's Derry at home.
To Derry at home. I can maybe see another. If it's in the brand new, I can maybe see another kind of narrow Derry win here. Maybe a 2-1.
Okay, fair. Yeah, no, I'm gonna lean towards the draw here. I just think Waterford be wounded after that loss last week against Shells, and yeah, they had a good result in Sligo, so I think they're comfortable enough on the road. And Derry, maybe the pressure's off a little bit after that win against Bows, so I could see them maybe taking the foot off the gas in that regard. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1, nice. Yeah.
But
No, I can see that as well.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, next up we've Drogheda United, or have had a flying start by all means, 4 points in their opening two games,
Yeah,
playing against the Galway United, who also have had a flying start with a 4 points. So could you call this a top of the table clash?
it's a second and third, is it?
Second and third
Yeah,
shells.
Jesus, who would have thought? Like, uh, who said it's in Weaver's Park? Is it
Yeah,
United Park nowadays?
whatever you
Yeah,
call it. Yeah.
this is tough, isn't it? This one, like, Drogheda, like, what was it? They drew 0-0 against Pat away, and after the back of those, the Shells and Dundalk. I think it was the Jim Malone Cup they lost to Dundalk, and then they lost Peasants Cup to Shells. I was a little bit worried about them. Like, I thought they didn't look great, especially against Shells. I was kind of watch more of that one. They didn't look great at all. quite a bit touch worry for them coming into the campaign, but they've kind of maybe having those games behind them was actually a positive in the end. They kind of came in sharp then after a couple of competitive-ish games or whatever. So could have been a benefit for them to get up and running with a couple of good results. And 3-0 against Sligo was a fantastic win. So this could be like a Galway then as well. Like Joe Patrick Hickey, like he's what's 3 goals in 2 games so far this season. 6 foot. I didn't actually know he was 6'6", which is he's just an animal, isn't he? Like, I think you nearly picked him up where you were trying to, weren't you?
Yeah, it became close. Yeah, yeah. I heard one fella say like you just have no chance to defend against him. If he gets a
No,
run,
no.
he jumps at 7 foot. Like you're not getting it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in Galway, like the wind gusting around, and like it's a cold Friday night. You just don't fancy that. It's 6'6" Americans coming pounding through towards you. Like you were just like, oh, look out of the way that one. Like,
No chance, no chance. Yeah, it's a tough one. This is almost one of those games. Whoever wants it more will win because like
mm.
probably not Drogheda and Galway kind of play the same, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of set plays, a lot of kind of lumping it long, second balls. Yeah, I don't know. Who do you kind of fancy for this? I'm struggling to pick a winner.
I'm actually kind of leaning towards a stalemate 0-0 draw here. Just kind of both teams being relatively happy with a good start to the season and another point on the board. I think they might be relatively okay with it with a point apiece. 0-0.
Yeah, yeah, I'm probably gonna join in that to be honest. I just can't see one team kind of dominating this. It could be anything.
No,
So yeah, probably
you
a bit of
won't. I don't
a
think the highlights won't be a fantastic watch. I don't think for that one. Like,
no. But yeah, no. Next up, we have kind of a relegation battle. You could say St. Pat's playing host to Sligo. 1 point versus no points. I'm in
huge.
shock. I know you called this in your predictions, but I just can't believe Pats have 1 point from 2 games. I
It's
can't believe.
crazy. And it's 2 games that like you kind of expect them to be winning. It was a Galway and it was Drogheda.
Yeah, yeah,
Like 2 games you'd expect them to be getting maximum points from. So yeah, disappointing from Pat's point of view, and they are. I've kind of said it, and for people saying it now, kind of copping on to what I've always been saying. They're better at chasing the pack when the pressure's off. A lot of when the pressure's put on them, and they have to kind of lead from the front. I just don't fancy them too much. Like when they have to do the pressure's on them. So yeah, for me, I could see Pats potentially winning this. Like I think it actually could suit Pats more playing the likes of a Rovers or a Shells who might come at them a bit and leave some space in behind for your Elbows, Eddies, and Morainis to get in behind and stuff. Big shout out to Aidan Keane as well. Actually, that goal was phenomenal last week. There's some technique on him, like
some going. Yeah, yeah. As you kind of said, like maybe this is the formula to get a result against Pats. Sit in and pick them off because
mm,
defensively. They're a tiny bit suspect, like they are. They
yeah,
and going
yeah,
forward, like we know the quality they have, but if you sit in and just stay tight, like those wide
yeah,
players don't really have the movement to roam. But then again, I'm looking at Sligo and I'm thinking, Jesus, if they conceded 3 goals in both of their games against Waterford and Drogheda, like it's very hard to pick anyone but a Pats win here.
yeah, yeah. Uh, is it Pats at home? Is
Yeah,
it or
Richmond, yeah.
is Pats at home, yeah. Yeah, the only thing with Pats is that you kind of look across the team. I think someone made this point. Heard this somewhere during the week was that Pats' team is quite kind of small, like across the pitch, from set pieces and stuff. They can be good at a little bit. Like they don't really have like Joe Redmond's not a big, massive physical presence really. Gravosti's not a huge fella either. Jamie Lennon's kind of small enough. Forrester wouldn't be a big threat in the air. Bagley's not a huge guy. They don't have a really physical, powerful team. They're kind of all technical footballers. Brandon Cavan and Keeley, they're all kind of small technicians. So there is that they might struggle against your Galways and Drogheda, especially away from home, because they have those kind of powerhouses to go up against them. Do Sligo have that? I don't think so.
Sligo are all over the shop. I think both of us putting them bottom. I just can't see anything but that to be honest. Like their squad's been stripped, like absolutely.
Yeah,
Like most of that starting 11 last season's gone, and they've replaced it with I don't know, like Keane Cavan up top. I don't really rate him to be honest. He's been at a few clubs now, and he missed a pen on the
he's not
other.
proven.
Not proven at all. And yeah, look,
No,
like I kind of see here, like even though Pat's had a crap start, like they really fancy themselves here. I'm Sligo are probably looking at Pat saying, "God, like these are gonna be up for it as well." And I think Pats will probably probably win this emphatically. To be honest, I'm gonna go for a 3-0 Pats win.
yeah, I might join you on. I'll go 2-0 just to be a little bit different, but I think they will win this one. Yeah.
Yeah, fair. So, anyways, the box office tie of the week, last season's top two, the champion Shelbourne taking on Shamrock Rovers.
Sorry, that broke up for a second. Just repeat that for a second.
Don't worry, the audience can hear. The audience can hear. Yeah, so last season's top two kind of face off. Shells, who've been very impressive by all accounts, President Cup winners and won their first 2 games. And Rovers have had a bit of a layoff after the penalty shootout exit against Molde. So yeah, this will be an interesting game. What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, it's going to be a big, massive. I know it's early in the season, you don't want to get carried away, but I think Shell's beating Rovers early last season kind of set a tone and set a marker down. Like we're serious about this kind of thing, and I think it was a real kind of signal of intentions. And I think I actually think Rovers need to take points off Shells here just to stop Shells' momentum and to give Rovers a little bit of something. I think if Shells beat Rovers here, like you'd be worried. Like I'll take it from a neutral perspective, from a someone not being a Shells fan, you'd be worried about Shells kind of having 9 from 9, and after playing Derry and Rovers and having 9 from 9, you'd be like, oh, okay, these are really, really in a strong position here and looking good. So I think it's important that Rovers take points off Shells in this game from their point of view, and from Pat's and Derry's sake as well. It's important to stop the momentum from Shells, but it's a really good field factor on Shells at the moment. I know last season they kind of found a bit of joy towards the end with a 4-4-2 with Martin and Boyd up front, and that's just and brought to the next level with the introduction of Meepo as well. He looks a real talent. I think he's having 5, 10 shots a game, and he just looks really enthusiastic. And he got his goal last week, which was doing the world of good as well. Him and Boyd in that front two is just a really, really kind of exciting pair. And Harry Wood has started the season really well as well, which is a huge positive. Kerr McEnroe's come into the side and kind of an unknown, but he got into the team of the week last week, and he looks a really solid player alongside Cole, keeping Lunny out of the team, keeping Chapman out of the team for the moment. So there's huge strength and depth at Chelsea. Like you look at the bench now, you're bringing on Ellis Chapman, you're bringing on Lunny, you're bringing on whether it be Ryan O'Kane or Pollock or Cute. Like you have real strength and depth now, so you can change the game as it goes along. So this is a tough one to call, and Rovers will need to have a reaction from a couple of disappointing results recently.
Yeah, no, for sure. And kind of you referenced that game last season when Chelsea won. Like this is kind of the shoes on the other foot now. Like Chelsea are probably favourites, and Rovers probably need to put a marker down because it's been a while. I know we beat you 2-0 in Tallaght back in last season, but it's been a while since we've been neck and neck, and a statement win is kind of directly impacted both sides. So I think we need to, like, if we lose this game, like it's only early on the season, granted, but it really kind of puts the pep in Shell's step.
Yeah,
And it's just especially with the rest now for the Cork game not going ahead, we've had a full week to prep for this, so we just need to not lose the game. A
yeah,
few players come back watching Bradley's interview saying he's saying Gaffney, Byrne, Adam Matthews and stuff are all fit for this game, so we've a few options on the bench. Dylan Watts and Dan Cleary come back in after being suspended for the
be
second leg. So yeah,
huge. Yeah.
we have a few players, and then obviously, Ed McGinty will want to right that wrong of the Molde mistake. And to be fair, he was very good against Bows, and then in the first leg he was solid also. So maybe you can just put that down to the conditions. But yeah, on the other hand, yeah, Shell's are very dangerous. Like Meepo, like you got to think once he starts scoring regularly, like he's going to have a Shawnee Maguire type season. Like he just gets himself into so
You
many.
could think, yeah,
He could have even watched the highlights of the opening night against Derry, and he should have had a hat trick. Like,
yeah,
and I feel like if that's in May or June, it will be a hat trick. It's just match sharpness from him. So, yeah, it's a tough one to call. I suppose the optimist in me is going for a draw, but if I was a neutral, I'd probably say Shells.
really, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think score wise?
I, I think Rovers definitely have made life harder for themselves by not bringing in a couple of key positions. Like they're not bringing in well, centre half probably to replace Hoare could have done, but unless Matthews is there full time. But then you probably wanted another wing back then on either side, and you probably wanted another striker in as well. I think it's hard to see Green and Gaffney being kind of at that Keena or that Odubeko level. And then I think it's a lot of pressure to put on young Noonan as well, like week in, week out to be scoring the goals. Like I think it'd be great to give him minutes here and there and get him on. But I think till you have him as your kind of starting striker, there's a lot of pressure, and you can't be playing every game at that age. Like you can't be doing that really. It just feels like I think Rovers can maybe dip into the free agent market. I think they'll probably need to, but they still have so much quality. Like your man Healy looks great in midfield. Dylan Watts coming back in, like he's probably one of the best players in the league. So like it's not as if you're dealing with a bunch of mugs. Like it's going to be a tough tight game, and both sides have players that can win the game for either side. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I think.
Yeah, that was
I think
actually.
it's not the worst result in the world for either side, really, but it's just like a bit of a nervous one, maybe.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Just be different. I'm gonna go 2-2. Yeah, I think there'd be. I couldn't see a stalemate here. I think certainly kind of this will be an open affair, like a sellout. Yeah, this will be a great occasion, and yeah, arguably the two biggest voices in Irish football right now, Stephen Bradley and
Yeah,
Damien, kind of voicing their displeasure, kind of the structure of the FAI and so on. So I'm sure the FAI executives won't be watching this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wonder if they'll be doing press conferences and stuff before the game. I'm sure the FEI will be hoping they don't, but
Yeah.
uh, like it's a massive game and two kind of the biggest names in Irish football right now, and it's kind of great to see that like League of Ireland managers in the past, if they've said something about the FEI, and like that wouldn't even make the news, wouldn't even get an article written about it. But now it shows the power of the league, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's growing in one direction. But yeah, guys, so there we have it. The Game Week 3 predictions in the League of Ireland. Ross, thanks very much for joining us. It's good to have
Thanks,
you back.
Brendan.
And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
guys, as I said, if you like the video, please leave a like. Let's try to get the 50 likes this video, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, catch you guys next time.
Super. Thanks, me guys.